The Similan Islands are a string of 9 granite islands in the Andaman Sea. They lie 65 kilometers off the west coast of southern Thailand, in the Phang Nga province. The national park was extended to Koh Bon and Koh Tachai in 1998, taking the total number of islands to 11. Jacques Yves Cousteau described the Similan Islands as crystalline and pure. Clear blue skies illuminate dense and thriving jungles. Incredible granite boulders frame some of Thailand's most beautiful beaches. Whether you are diving, snorkeling or relaxing on the soft white sand, you will be sure to find something you love. Below is the definitive guide to the Similan Islands, as well as strict opening times and annual monsoons determining the conditions at the Similan Islands. There are also other considerations for scuba divers and snorkelers. The best time to visit the Similans will depend on other factors, including tides and water visibility. Where are the Similan Islands? The Similans are 9 ancient granite rock islands 65 kilometers off the west coast of Thailand, carpeted by layer upon layer of dense tropical jungle, fringed with white sandy beaches, abundant coral reefs and surrounded by the azure, clear waters of the Andaman Sea. As tropical islands go, they are picture postcard perfection. Overview: the 9 islands, both above and below the sea, play host to an abundance of flora and fauna, some of which is totally unique to the area. A visit to the Similans appeals to beach lovers, snorkelers, scuba divers and nature lovers alike. Welcome to the beautiful and breathtaking Similan Islands. Similan Islands 4 megavolts Hallelujah liveaboard boat. A small archipelago. The Similan Islands are a small archipelago of 9 islands that cover an area of 128 square kilometers, including marine areas. The Muko Similan National Park also includes 2 further islands to the north, Koh Bon and Koh Tachai, increasing the size of the national park by a further 12 square kilometers. Similan Island 8 Donald Duck Bay aerial drone photo. On a wider scale, both the Similans and Surin Islands could be considered the southernmost part of a much larger archipelago of islands that stretch north to the Tanintharyi division of Burma, known as the Mai or Mergui Archipelago. The Mergui Archipelago covers an area of 36,000 square kilometers. Coordinates and distances: the Similans Archipelago lies at a longitude of approximately 97.65. The 9 islands are roughly dotted in a south to north direction from latitude 8.47 to 8.68. It is roughly 23 kilometers from Island 1 south to Island 9 north. Koh Bon is a further 23 kilometers northeast from Island 9 and Koh Tachai is a further 26 kilometers north from Koh Bon. The islands are located 65 kilometers offshore in a rough westerly direction from the coastal town of Khao Lak in Phang Nga province in southwestern Thailand. It is 95 kilometers NNW from Patong, Phuket to Island 1 or 120 kilometers from Chalong Pier, Phuket to Island 1. Island 9 is 105 kilometers to the Thai-Myanmar border. The Similan Islands are located in the shallow eastern portion of the Andaman Sea, 200 kilometers west from the Similans. The depth increases dramatically. 400 kilometers west of the Similans is the deepest part of the Andaman Basin with an average depth of over 3,000 meters. The islands are 600 kilometers east of the Bay of Bengal and 120 kilometers north of the Malacca Straits. What to do at the Similan Islands? The Similans are a must for scuba divers, snorkelers, nature lovers, bird watchers and tropical island goers. The famous islands feature prominently in all guidebooks as a must-see location. Travel agents across Thailand are resplendent with photos of the famous Sail Rock at Island 8. As the Similan Islands are run by the National Park Service of Thailand, there are restrictions that control how activities there are conducted. The vast majority of visitors to the islands arrive there as part of organized tours that comply with the national park rules and regulations. Similan diving diver swimming above Manta Ray at Koh Bon. The options for Similan diving are plentiful. Dive sites vary in terms of the marine life you can find, the underwater topography and the difficulty level. Similan diving is the best and most varied in Thailand. Check out our interactive map to find the perfect dive sites for you. Day trips leave from Thap Lamu and Bon Nam Kem in Khao Lak, or from Chalong in Phuket, although a trip from Phuket is a much longer day. A few overnight options are available from Khao Lak. However, the best way to see everything that the Similan Islands has to offer is by hopping on a Similan liveaboard. Booking in advance is a must, as places on the boats can fill up very quickly. Similan Snorkeling. Happy man and woman snorkeling with aqualung mask snorkel and fins. The crystal clear waters of the Similans provide the perfect opportunity to swim with a multitude of colorful reef fish. Protected beaches in beautiful bays, clearly marked snorkeling areas and dozens of mooring lines make for a safe and family-friendly experience. Make sure you book a trip that suits your needs. Some boats focus on speed, whereas others are bigger, more stable and more relaxed. Some trips provide great value. Others charge more but have a lower passenger capacity and focus on the quality of service. Experienced snorkelers may also want to consider the superb corals around the Similan Islands instead. Contact us for further assistance or advice. Other activities. Man jumping on a Similan Islands beach. The first thing you will want to do is relax on the soft, white sand of a truly world-class beach. Then, if posing for a perfectly timed, jumping in the air style photo is not your idea of fun, you will surely enjoy watching others do it. However, there is more to the Similans than just beaches. Winding nature trails lead to panoramic viewpoints. From the famous Sail Rock you can see all the way to Koh Bon, Koh Tachai or sometimes the Thai mainland. Wildlife is diverse with incredibly rare birds like the Nicobar pigeon, kingfishers, huge crabs, monitor lizards and much more. Delicious Thai buffet lunches are included in most day trips. If one day is not enough, then why not try camping? Do-it-yourself Similans. If you prefer to explore the islands without the constraints of an organized tour, it is possible to stay on islands 4 or 8. The National Park provide tents and basic bungalows on Island 4 or just tents on Island 8. Both islands have a restaurant, bathroom facilities and offer snorkeling services. Transfers must be booked with a private boat operator. Accommodation can be reserved directly with the Department of National Parks, Thailand. Similan Islands dive sites as a diving website. You can probably guess that our passion lies in the dive sites around both the Similan Islands and Similan Islands. Below are the best dive sites in the Similans. For a more general overview, including lots of up-to-date information on Similan Islands diving conditions, please visit our guide to Similan diving. More information. Similan conditions. As the Similan Islands are so far from the mainland, they are subject to their own weather and sea conditions. Even if it is raining on the mainland, conditions may still be excellent out at the islands. Whether you are diving, snorkeling or just taking the boat ride, there are a few things you will need to be aware of. Most importantly, sea and weather conditions are affected by the annual monsoons, so please read here to find out the best time of year to visit. During the high season, water visibility is excellent, up to 30 meters. Water temperature consistently stays nice and warm at around 29 degrees Celsius year-round. Divers and snorkelers will need to think about tides and currents. A few days before and after the full moon, tidal shifts are much larger and this will create stronger currents and a drop in visibility. Currents in the Similans are affected by other factors due to their shape and position, meaning that currents are much more dynamic and unpredictable than other places in Thailand. Some sites are more prone to strong currents than others, but this is not necessarily a bad thing. Strong currents bring lots of life with it, and these sites are often the best place to see manta rays or whale sharks. Sunrise at Elephant Head Rock. Similan wildlife. Nicobar Pigeon. In the Similan Islands underwater, the marine life is diverse and spectacular, as well as the hundreds of species of smaller marine creatures. You can also see manta rays, whale sharks, turtles and several other species of sharks. However, the wildlife on the islands is just as impressive. The Nicobar pigeon is extremely rare and indigenous to just a few islands in the Andaman Sea. Other smaller birds like the beautiful kingfisher can be found with a keen eye. Also, look up into the trees to find huge fruit bats hanging from the branches. The dinosaurs may be long gone, but the huge and ancient monitor lizards are a wonderful sight. Large hermit crabs, and a favorite of the Similans, the chicken crabs, can be found on the beaches. You can also look out for snakes, colorful spiders and much more in the dense jungle landscape. Most day trip tours to the Similan Islands follow similar itineraries that only include snorkeling and beach time. If you wish to go there for more unique activities such as bird watching, be sure to check in advance if this is offered as part of your tour. Similan history. The history of the Similans has surprisingly little to do with Thailand. They were originally named by fishermen speaking the Yawi language. Phasa Yaw. Yawi is a Malay language spoken by Thai Malays in the south of Thailand and in the northern Malay state of Kelantan. The vast majority of Thai nationals do not know the real origin of these names. Most Thai and English speakers refer to the 9 Similan Islands with just a number. However, the original Yawi names of the 9 islands are as follows: Ko Huyang 1, Ko Payang 2, Ko Payan 3, Ko Miang 4, Ko Ha 5, Ko Hok 6, Ko Payu 7, Ko Similan 8, and Ko Ba Ngu 9. The 9 islands would have also played an important role to another ethnic group not of Thai descent. As the fishermen traveled up and down the Malay Peninsula, between Malaysia and Myanmar, they would have almost certainly encountered nomadic sea gypsies. This Austronesian ethnic group are known as the Moken. The Moken were traditionally a seafaring culture that migrated from China over 4,000 years ago. They would spend most of the lives on large kabang boats built from one solid piece of wood. The Moken language has no written form, so their culture is kept alive through fascinating folk stories and legends. Some of these tales refer specifically to the Similans, including an epic poem called Gammon the Malay. The poem is a story of adultery. Gammon the Malay was banished to live on the ocean for the rest of his days, after sleeping with his wife's sister. This story refers to the Saway Islands, which is the Moken name for the Similans. Interestingly, Similan in Yawi and Saway in Moken both translate as the number 9. The history of the 9 Similan Islands is a multicultural one and should not be forgotten in modern-day Thailand. Similan Islands, Thailand. Sign underneath Sail Rock. The formation and geology of the Similan Islands. Similan Island 4 jungle, ocean, granite boulders and rock pool. Probably the most fascinating fact about the Similan Islands is their incredible age. The Similans are characterized by massive Cretaceous plutons, igneous rock, crystallized from slowly cooling magma, originates from the lower Triassic to the late Cretaceous period. This makes the Similan Islands up to 200 million years old. The Cretaceous period was the beginning of flowering plants, the height of the dinosaurs, and ended in mass extinction. Granite typically lacks any internal structure, making the massive boulders extremely hard and tough. Whilst the life around the islands changed dramatically, millions of years of weathering have done little more to the rocks than gently polish and shape them into spectacular crystalline monoliths. The Similan Islands were believed to have formed by westward subduction of tectonic plates from Indochina, sinking beneath the Shan Tai terrain off the west coast of Thailand. The intrusive granitoids that form the Similans are part of a north-trending belt known as the Western Belt. In total, 3 belts, east, central and west, form the granite foundations that many of Thailand's islands are built upon. Tree roots have slowly seeped into the cracks and grown into thick, dense jungles. Animals have evolved separate from the mainland, meaning birds like the Nicobar pigeon can only be found on a handful of islands in the Andaman Sea. The Similan Islands are a very special place in Thailand. The cultural history may go back for thousands of years, but its natural history stretches back for hundreds of millions. Similan sailing. The romance of the Similan Islands, on board a private sailing yacht, is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The islands are a perfect tropical destination, with dozens of moorings in the many picturesque bays. The silhouettes of the shapely islands look even more romantic under the moonlight, far from light pollution of the Thai mainland. Whether sailing independently or chartering one of the many yachts available in Phuket, the options are vast. Be sure to check the regulations and stay away from restricted areas, or you may end in an awkward discussion with the Thai Royal Navy. Please contact us if you need any advice. At Scuba Diversion, we have a few favorite boats which we choose time and again. Some vessels are much better equipped to handle the needs of divers and underwater photographers. The best yachts are also available for sailing trips to the Mergui Archipelago in Myanmar. These trips are a long way from other tourists and only suitable for people who want a real adventure.
Thank you.